back. We're back and ready for action. -1 Willow, though.
Willow!
Yes. Which is sad.
If you're watching, we miss you.
And -1...
What?
Your sister.
Simone.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my god.
Wow, I just gotta keep bringing that up.
Name.
Pick at that scab.
I'm just gonna...
Wait.
What
sorry.
-1 Kelsey, I should say, is what I
but
meant.
Kelsey
What it was.
died.
Kelsey did not die.
Kelsey's alive. Kelsey is alive.
Kelsey
She's
is
well.
Sure that's-
alive.
She's doing good.
Sorry.
All is well.
Simone died, and I feel like we keep bringing it up, and Basil
I mean,
will never heal.
we think Simone died.
Oh dang! Speaking of, hello.
Oh, hey!
Kelsey's very much alive.
Perfect timing.
Oh, good.
Glad someone got to interact with that awkward situation.
Right.
Sorry, Kels. I meant Simone. She did. I'm sorry.
All right. Wishing you well, and hopefully you get back soon.
We love you.
All right. Who is doing the recap for last session? You said you were going to do it
I will do it.
for a healing
I will
potion.
get a healing potion.
Everyone has inspiration.
All right. So we curtains up on us with Beldar Hirsch recently spared from dying in the town of Clifton.
I don't think this town had a. I don't think it had a name.
This is a different town. This is
I think
not
this is
Clifton.
just sort of like a random collection of a couple of houses along the
In
coast.
the town of Random Collection.
Yeah.
And we tied him up, attempted to
We can call it Clifton.
interrogate him.
Uh-huh.
Didn't go well. He was not forthcoming as a prisoner for some reason.
Wow, disappointing.
All the rumors about this guy, he seems super chill, very
He's like super approachable.
Honest.
I mean, he was
Just a super chill guy.
he was clearly beaten. Okay, whatever.
but you can't beat the law
Ah.
as he saw it.
So we got very little information out of him, other than we are wanted for treason twice, I guess,
Treason once,
and then resisting
and then resisting
arrest,
arrest
and all those
twice
other-
because Goyle was like, I gotta bring you guys in.
And, we were
And you're like,
no,
nah.
no,
And now
you
3
don't.
times a lady.
Right. I mean, multiple count. It's all kind of the same.
There are many charges.
Right.
You guys were hung up on the treason, but you do have many charges, including now kidnapping, reckless endangerments.
He's like kidnapping if we let him go. At that point, it's just borrowing.
Yeah.
Unlawful detainment. How about that?
I mean, but
Anyway, you have a lot of charges
Anyway, it's going to be super fun when we go to trial, and there are like 5 sessions of
Mm-hmm.
deliberation and court procedure.
Yep.
Very excited for it.
I'm
It's gonna
legitimately
be
excited for that.
Fantastic content.
Oh, be ready for Endymion's bird law.
What does that mean?
What's your spaghetti policy here?
What's your spaghetti policy?
Anyway, he was an asshole, and we took a long rest. And then we headed to Arstelia. And we made a plan along the road. We made many plans. We talked a lot. We
You
talked a lot
brainstormed
about
planning. Not
about
planning. You
Some
brainstormed
good.
plans.
Most
yeah,
bad.
about how to get in.
Some good,
About
most bad.
where we were trying to get to, like what was the goal.
Mhm.
A lot of argument about killing Beldar Hirsch or not killing Beldar Hirsch.
Or waxing Beldar Hirsch.
Listen,
That's right.
The grooming
There was a
conversation.
lot of
There
grooming
was
talk.
there was grooming talk, which is more acceptable.
it feels like we already waxed that eyebrow off.
Not with my horse.
We stuck an eyebrow first to ski. It's fine.
Anyway, out of this, that is a hard conversation to follow out of context. we waxed that eyebrow, not with my horse.
Go back. Go back and watch the last session. It will all make sense.
We decided ultimately upon using our connections in the city. Willow either made up on the spot or had in her backstory that there is an ambassador from the Furbolg, which she might have just made it up on the spot.
In the backstory.
Okay. There's a Furbolg ambassador in the castle, and so she turned into an eagle and flew to him and explained the situation. and he gave her like a note of like admittance to the castle.
So under Karen's like protection or like I take responsibility for these people's actions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we also found out that Endymion has underworld connections. Not like
seedy underbelly,
Hades,
like werewolf / vampire.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, Kate Beckinsale. Anyway,
anytime we can bring up werewolves in front of Kyle, we'll be.
Oh, I thought we were
Very
fully on Kate Beckinsale.
I mean, who wouldn't be? Am I right?
So,
I think you'd rather be right than me and Kate Beckinsale. Right about the werewolves that one session.
God, that's so
tough,
hard.
you know.
That is
Oh,
so hard
man.
because I love being right.
Let's just have a session.
And I am married, so I'm like not really.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be right.
oh man.
Is she known? Anyway.
I was a gifted kid. I have to be right. Anyway, we also found out about his connections to smuggle people or things. So he got in contact with his contact, or with a contact for the contact, who then got in contact with the contact to contact us.
It's a telephone game,
And
for sure.
yeah, and we ended up in the right place somehow. And we got on a boat and went to the docks, which is behind the main, like the first like wall, right? It's behind the main wall, so we didn't have to like go past too many guards. And we got in barrels, but before we did that, we untied Beldar Hirsch and threw him off the boat, so that at least we would get to the castle before him, presumably, because hopefully he doesn't swim faster
you were
than a
miles
boat.
away. He has to swim back to shore and hoof it back to the to the city.
Yeah, so
You know,
Undergarments,
Right.
essentially.
yeah,
Whatever he wears under his armor.
or like find a guard and get on his horse and get there. But you got there before him.
right, we assume we got there before. So we got in barrels. Willow, I guess, rolled us there or put us in a
She
wagon.
put it in a cart,
Put us in a wagon.
Yeah.
and you actually met Karen. Well, Willow met Karen at the docks. They, on the cart, went to the gate of the castle.
Right,
And was like, again, under my purview.
brought him in.
We're bringing these barrels in.
They went up somewhere.
We'll
and
say
we
that's
went down.
in the cart, and that's where we are now. Thanks, you get your minor healing potion. At the entrance of the castle gate, you hear the conversation between Karen and the guards, who are like, "Hey, we need to check your stuff, because we know who you are, but there's a lot of shit going on." And it's like, "It's fine. Here's my pass or whatever," and you hear them say that it. Karen says that she's delivering like special reserve wine from the Furbolg like community, and you guys are in like wine barrels. And so
I gurgle convincingly.
I
I make wine sounds.
And so you
What are wine sounds? He goes, "What a lovely vintage." That's wine sounds.
Tannins.
right, all these
How's
things.
it feel?
All right, so you're let in. You hear Willow and Karen get off the cart and go into the castle at some point. A couple guards bring you down a sort of like a winding spiral staircase. It feels like you're turning. You can kind of get the sense of it. The conversation between the two guys is unremarkable and not important. Finally, you get into a stopping place, apparently, and you overhear the two guards. One of them says, "So, how long do you think we got till the next one?" Let's see. Well, the next one's supposed to be through here about 45 minutes, so we'll say 30 minutes just to be safe. We got 30 minutes? Yeah. You think the boss will notice? Yeah, that guy's a twerp. All right. Wait, what was that sound? It's probably that jerk sommelier. I don't want to deal with him. Let's go take a break somewhere else. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea. And so you hear the two people walk off.
Gonna go make out. Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah. Feel the tension.
So you three are in barrels in presumably a wine cellar.
And sommelier is approaching.
Or nearish.
Alright.
I have a dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in our own separate barrels?
Yes.
Or
We're all jammed in one barrel. We're like,
It's one big ass barrel.
I said it was dumb. My premise.
would
No, it's
be a
okay.
good barrel. That's fair.
You did wait around for several hours because when you got on the ship, it was the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So you have enough time to like plan, if you'd like. Now that you know a little bit more about what you're doing, what the plan is, and so why don't we kind of retcon back on the ship where the three of you, or the four of you, can like decide. All right, we're going in. We're going to disguise you as wine. The three of you can discuss what do you do when you're. What's the plan? Imagine yourselves in your situation now. What would be the plan?
I'm not. It's hard to know exactly where we will be or situation we'll find ourselves in. I am not particularly adept at stealth. I feel two of
Will's
you
like-
are.
And Will's like, how are you at deception?
Great! That is a 1 for my deception check.
There's one.
He's not.
I
good
feel
at
like
deception.
the way you said it. Anyway, so you're saying you're not good at stealth.
So perhaps Bastion, if you
I'm the sneakiest boots.
yes,
as
if
we know.
you were to
Baz, Sneaky Boots, St. Pierre.
find
That's me. Baz, Sneaky Boots, whatever my middle name is.
BSBSP.
your that is 100% accurate. I had Sneaky Boots to like your name on my list.
Nice.
So perhaps you would be the one to take the lead.
Okay.
Reconnoitering, or does that sound acceptable?
It sounds good. I can cast Greater Invisibility. Only is going to last about a minute, so it's not like that would be max 2 minutes of
Sure,
2 people being invisible.
that's fine. I
Well,
think
I think
what I'm saying is you two do whatever you do, and I will follow.
Okay.
because there's also another idea.
Okay.
And that is?
If we take your sword and shield, you have a shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take your sword and shield, put it in the bag of holding. You could look like any other Warforged in the castle.
That's fair. We think.
Like, if we get caught, it's...
Is there a way that we would know if the Royal Castle Warforged have any particular insignia or colors or design?
I'll say no.
There's no way for us to know, or they don't.
I would say they don't.
Okay.
I imagine them to be more, they might be commissioned by the crown to do certain functions, so they might have certain like characteristics, like your flat thighs for the kids to sit on. So different Warforged might have different physical characteristics, but I'll say that they're not wearing any like certain insignia or anything like that.
Okay. That is fair.
If we get in a bind, I mean... I'm trying to think of acting like we're prisoners probably isn't the best bet.
Well, if you can make the two of you invisible. Again, I am not good at deception, but if I
Grab a towel, put it over your
if I
arm.
revert to my if I simply access my base programming,
Uninstall
then
your new
yeah,
update.
if I factory reset, then I should be able to pass just fine.
Yeah, but will you like lose your memory?
Oh, I don't know how. I'm making a joke. I don't know how to do that.
He's very good at jokes too.
Oh, Baz is also good at knowing when it's jokes.
I've noticed.
Ha!
Baz is good at jokes.
Ha ha ha.
Ah.
That is an interesting thought, as long as I don't have to lie to anyone.
I mean, yeah, I'm not.
At the very least, it could.
Sorry, I was gonna say, you know now that you don't always have to say the full truth. You talked about the spiciness meter or whatever.
Sugar cookie to habanero.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you could be sugar cookie mode or whatever.
Yeah,
remember? But
sure.
I mean, what would be a good
alibi.
Well, no, good server name, like a good Warforged servant name. Like, I can't just call you Sir Gyrus. Like, there's not a lot of Warforged around.
What about just Gyrus without the surge?
That was my name before.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a normal.
And you don't have to lie about your name.
That's true.
Just if I start calling you Gyrus, just don't be offended and don't correct me.
What's
If I act like a noble and you are taking me around the castle, giving me
We call Gyrus like all the time.
Okay.
Gyrus taken note. It's not Sir Gyrus taken note.
Yeah, it's Gyrus taken out.
Yeah.
You don't look like a noble, though.
I can.
No
try.
offense.
Yeah, where a hand at?
What if?
I like the clothes that you're wearing.
Oh, right, that too.
What? If we find. So you are able. I'm processing through. You're able to.
Does anybody notice how it smells like peanut butter when he's thinking?
Cast invisibility.
What?
Like these grinds.
He's like grinding coffee beans in there.
Oh,
espresso.
Espresso. Oh, a jolt of energy.
Yeah. Here you go. If I am able to avoid notice or detection at the very least, I could attempt to. Well, you're able to be invisible for a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be necessarily if I'm not wearing my equipment. We could try to find some kinds of servant or castle worker attire, and then you just wear that.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, I can.
I mean, some of us. It's never mind. Go ahead.
If you concentrate on sneaking and don't open your mouth, chances are that won't give us
What
away.
if she has the stuffy nose? How will she breathe?
Yeah, how I breathe.
Out of your
What if
nose.
they have cats?
If I have, yeah. What if they
Less
have cats?
Hold on. Less speaky, more sneaky.
I'm the most sneaky.
But also
So-
very speaky.
You're also the most speaky of the worst things.
If we're trying to deceive the people in the castle,
And please don't punch me in the face for saying that. But it's kind of true.
Okay, I punch
No!
I punch Kitty in the face. It doesn't hit. It's 9.
I was awfully close.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know.
those look-
What's the plus?
9.
Dex?
Hang on.
18?
Hang on.
18 is
Definitely
really
hits
funny.
my
Hang on,
AC's
wait.
12.
No, I'll use my warding maneuver.
Two.
What is that?
Just a
It's
quick
up
jab.
to a 19. So it
Beats
still
beats
hits.
it.
Wait,
Oh,
9 plus
damage.
9 is 18.
Uh-huh. So
Oh,
I got it to a 19.
Oh, damn it.
So you
I able to
punch his shield.
I get my shield. This is not conducive
Just
to
The
us.
message was sent though.
This-
One little
I can
jab,
do
jab.
my best to clean myself up. A black eye on top of that is not going to help.
At least you're not blue anymore.
This is not conducive to us making a good decision.
That's right.
I believe.
Sigh.
So
She says aloud.
okay, so
Exactly.
I know what I will do.
I like
I will put my sword
Yeah.
and shield away. I will pretend to be a castle warforged.
Okay, so what do you need me to be sneaky for then?
I mean,
Since you obviously don't have respect for my key.
well, maybe step 1 would be, let's find me an outfit.
Okay.
Yeah, step 1. Let's find Endymion an outfit.
We could find one for you too, Bastion. That was also my intention. So
I
as
don't
to
know.
draw
Until we
less.
do, we can turn you invisible.
Ugh.
But I can only do it like twice.
Wow, you're useful.
Can you turn yourself invisible?
Could, but it's gonna take a lot of
So wait, why do I have to be sneaky if I'm
Gusto.
invisible? Who cares? Nobody can see me anyway.
twinning a
It only
4th
lasts a
level
minute.
spell would be a lot.
Well, then what are we doing, Endymion? Why can't we just... Okay, fine, whatever.
We don't know where we will be.
I
And we
could
don't
twin
know.
it twice, so
We don't know how long it
You-
will take.
Exhaust me.
just saying.
No one has respect for my sneaky boots or my key energy.
No one has commented on your.
And in the moment,
What is?
ideally, no one's gonna know and be looking for us. So
It's true. We
embrace that element
Whatever.
walk with
Until the-
confidence.
until the gig is up, and then we can work on hiding people.
It's the jig and
Jig.
Depends on.
sigh.
It's a
Fine.
hard G.
Whatever, losers.
it's an option. It's a plan. I can talk my
Whatever.
way.
Do
on-
you have a different plan?
I don't have a different plan because Endymion won't let anyone get a word in edgewise. So we'll just do Endymion's plan.
Well,
Whatever.
you could sneak around first, like case.
Yeah.
Because also,
What good does that do?
I don't know how we're sealing these barrels, but someone's gonna probably have to let me out.
Oh.
That's a good
So you
point.
do need a sneaky boots to let you out. Interesting.
I never said I didn't need the sneaky boots. I just said more sneaky,
Fascinating.
less speaky.
Oh, but you do need a sneaky and a speaky to get you out of that.
Speaking is not required to open a barrel, unless it's a magic barrel with a magic keyword.
I can keep coming up with them. All punch, no lunch.
I am on punch.
You kick, I get sick. I'm gonna work on some.
Do we have a plan?
Whatever.
Pop out. Do you want to do a little search?
Ooh,
If we can find 2
sometime.
outfits, then and like a towel, then
Oh, I'm looking for outfits now.
Al-
Now you want
alternatively-
my shopping skills and
Alternatively, I could go by myself, and you could wait in the barrel until I have retrieved clothing.
how are you gonna get out without being sneaky? You don't have the sneaky boots. I
I
have the
don't.
sneaky.
I don't have to be.
Oh,
be
right,
sneaky
because
necessarily.
we're in the
you're-
castle. Like they can afford Warforged. Like,
Well, whatever. You guys obviously
and
have
now that
feelings,
the,
so
the
It's
crystal's
just
destroyed, like they should be functional again.
yeah, but they should be, but we don't know that they are. So what if Gyrus
Oh,
like
that is a
waltzes in there
good point.
and is like, herp derp derp derp, I'm Gyrus. I am so helpful, which you are, Gyrus. And then they're like, whoa, Warforge working? Since when?
That is a good point. We haven't seen any.
Yeah.
Warforged.
Baz makes points. Sometimes.
I mean, yeah, it could be a situation of I am awake, awaiting instructions.
Oh goodness!
You
When did
all
I
speak
become
like
awake?
that.
Oh, gorsh.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd be confused. Like, you were a little confused when you
What was I?
gained consciousness. I don't remember.
No.
Not really, but
No.
I've never been confused about anything.
No, Gyrus knows the thing. Whatever. Fine. Should we just do this then? I mean, I guess that's
I
the
mean,
worst that
you
could
do-
happen.
The worst that could happen is we get captured and executed.
Well,
and we all
then,
die.
And then no one.
well,
warns
some of us already
anyone.
lost a twin sister, so some of us are rapidly
some of us
losing
is-
And we could
interest.
lose our lives. Sure.
important
Oh.
to the
Not
rest of
gonna
us.
say a
Important to you both?
A
Okay.
little. The
Also-
same amount as.
Also, if nobody informs, if our message does not reach the right ears, then a lot of people will die.
That's true. You're not wrong about that. Okay. Gyrus is convincing. You're not.
Okay.
Hey, fuck. Oh, I wish I could conjure. Oh, I prestidigit. No, I don't have that. Never mind. Can I minor illusion?
I wave my hand. You can. What are you trying to minor illusion?
A shovel to get to do it.
We can play pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play pretend.
Yeah, there's probably a shovel on the boat.
Okay, so what I've heard is you're going to pop the top of your barrel and act like a generic Warforged. You're going to pop the top of your barrel and sneak around the wine cellar.
And look for an outfit, apparently.
Or just
find something to wear.
Just find something to wear to
blend in.
disguise, yeah.
Okay. All right.
and somebody let me out.
Yes,
Yeah, at the end.
Of course.
I have a -1 strength.
Sounds great.
We'll let you out at the end.
Um,
We'll let you out
okay.
when it's time for you.
Also, there's probably an air level situation.
Yeah, we'll let you out when we feel it's appropriate to let you out.
So,
Yes.
they're not actual wine barrels that's like sealed like that. They're more like cargo barrels. Yeah. So they're hoping that you guys are hoping that nobody like takes a close look at them or anything like that. Anywho. All right, so the guards that brought you down leave. And you think that maybe maybe the sommelier is nearby-ish. Do you pop out now or give it a little time?
I would. I think I would try to like
Peek at least?
peek out right away
Okay.
because they have just left, so the likelihood of them returning is least right now than later. And if there is a sommelier, he might at some point decide to come check the barrels of wine that just arrived, and so time is of the essence.
Okay. All right, peeking out, you find yourself in a wine cellar. Your barrels are on the ground. You lift the lid a little bit, and do you have dark vision?
We do not.
I do.
Okay. It's lit well enough. It's dimly lit, but it's
Lit.
You can just pop anywhere now.
it is. Yeah, you can shadow step pretty much all over the place. It's dimly lit, but you can kind of see a figure sort of walking your direction. So you
I'm gonna
go back down.
Slowly.
And you saw, the other two barrels sitting next to you.
Okay.
Did you want to try and whisper anything or just wait?
Just gonna wait.
The three of you can sort of hear shoes on stone
Creaky
approaching.
bones don't wear shoes.
It's it stops here and there,
Perfect opportunity.
keeps walking. You just kind of hear the footsteps from time to time.
Okay.
They get closer to you guys, and you hear something to the effect of it's some kind of grumbling, something like that.
Okay.
The person isn't speaking their inner monologue out loud. And then a few minutes go by, and you hear the footsteps walk a little bit further away. A few pauses. A few,
I'm gonna peek out and see if it's walking.
It's walking away from you now. It's going past you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there
And then
a corner
eventually, after a few more minutes go by, they disappear out of line of sight.
Sweet, I'm getting out then.
Okay.
I'm gonna peek out
Mhm.
and then stealthily also come out.
You do that.
Like a spider.
Oh man. It's not what I was
Freak.
Like the ring girl out of the TV.
Freaky to imagine.
Yeah, the ring girl out of the TV, definitely.
Nightmare.
All right, the two of you are standing outside the.
Okay,
Barrels.
we look around.
Yeah, you see rows and rows of barrels on one side and rows and rows of shelves of wine bottles on the other side. It's a really huge wine cellar.
I do some shadow stepping and like pop in and out of a couple rows to see if there are any like cloaks or aprons or those shoes, those waiter things that you wear when you're stomping on grapes. Anything like that.
Yeah, nothing in the wine cellar. It's not really a place that you would find like servant's garb
Gotcha.
in the area.
Towels.
Sure.
Okay,
Find some towels.
I bring one to Gyrus
Thanks.
as like a this.
Put it around my neck.
No. I show you.
Yeah.
You pray like this. You know, like you're a waiter. Hey, hello, I'm
You're
Gyrus.
familiar with a servant. You've been in the castle most
Sure,
of your
yeah.
experience.
Okay, I have a towel.
Oh my god. Okay.
Is there stairs up anywhere that we see? Is there a way out? Is
It's
there an
not time
office?
into
Is
it.
there any
Yeah,
other
so
thing to
walking kind of slow. I'm assuming you're going to try and stealth as much as possible.
Yeah.
Roll some stealth checks.
explore? Okay, great. Fucking awesome.
Roll a stealth check.
Stealth check.
I can do it.
You
I
would,
can-
you're
Oh.
both trying to.
That's actually really good. What's my stealth bonus? Is a +2, so a 20.
Mm.
Rolled a 19 and an 18.
If you could roll stealth as well, please.
No.
Please do so.
No.
It's like the one thing you really wanted to do.
No. 16 plus 8, I think, is 24.
That's good.
Normally, yes.
All right. Yeah, you're sneaking around. You see on either side of the large wine cellar are one has a ramp that appears to kind of wind, and you imagine that's probably what brought you down. There are stairs. There are probably 3 sets of stairs, and one like office room that looks to be like a ledger place, and the
Is it
usual
open?
accoutrement.
Is it open?
Does it have any clothing?
No.
No one left their suit jacket? Come on!
Nobody just took off all their clothes in their office? What kind of office is that?
Kind of a sommelier walks around and fully clothed.
Said come in!
And so you see the various paraphernalia of a sommelier, lots of tasting stuff and bottle openers and that kind of thing. Ledgers, lots of ledgers. After a few more minutes of walking around and sneaking around, you hear the sound of many footsteps coming down one of the staircases. And you hear sort of a projected voice talking. You can't quite make out what is being said, but it sounds like the person is addressing the group of people.
Do we recognize the tone of the voice? Or the timbre?
No
person? Okay.
No. So I'm gonna assume that you find a shadowy place to
Yes.
hide or move back toward
Okay.
the barrel that the Endymion's in or something.
All right, waiting. Maybe you make your way back to the barrel near Endymion. Waiting a few more minutes in the shadows. It is a tour group, a tour guide, and just a bunch of we'll say about 15 people of various ages and stuff. It's a tour group touring the castle.
Ooh, this is a great opportunity. We should maybe join that tour group.
I should not.
Oh yeah.
You could, though.
Fuck.
You could join the tour group. And we will find our way
I just
together
have my
later.
quarters down.
And
So
roll for initiative.
that's another thing that I wanted to ask is, you know that it would probably not be allowed to carry weapons in the castle. So if you want to stow your weapons in the bag of holding as well, you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would have said.
Okay. Now, are they within sight?
They're
Are they
approaching.
in line of sight of the barrel? So it would be weird if I pulled a person out of the barrel right now.
I'll give you some time. Now would be a good time to try.
Yeah, I'll
You pop the barrel.
I'll pop Endymion out.
I had put my hand over Endymion's mouth.
There's a tour coming.
Should we join the tour?
Perhaps could, and I would say
Follow
surreptitiously
with a
follow,
distance?
but I will follow in the manner that I can.
Yeah, you could offer some drinks or something.
With what drinks?
I don't know. I don't know.
This could help.
It's fine.
I'm going to prestidigitate the royal seal onto
How
your
long does that
towel
last?
for 1 hour.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
It's a small mark or symbol
Gotcha. Sweet.
on the outside.
I immediately move away from the two of you.
Okay.
Let's go.
Do you want a stealth check as well, or is it necessary?
Just walk straight up we're in the tour.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
you let the tour group go by a little bit and you just kind of sidle in. I don't know what your plan is.
That's what we do.
Okay.
I think that, yeah.
Okay.
That's what Sneaky Boots would do. And Sneaky Boots, while also speaky, does have some good sneaky ideas.
And I will say, I spent a lot of time this morning, last night, prestidigitating myself clean.
Okay.
1 square foot at
Not
a time.
apologizing to your friend for being an asshole.
I'm
I
sure you
see.
could do that while you pick us.
But my hair has gone from very, long
Unkempt.
and greasy to it is starting to be clean and has like some curl to it.
Okay.
If anybody asks, just say you got stuck here on the last tour and you were waiting for the next one. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Don't say that. That would be a weird... I don't know. It's up to you. Goodbye.
It's up to you. Goodbye.
All right. So,
I'm gonna go and putz around over like a quarter.
okay. So you are not joining the tour group, or you are?
I will. I. It would be weird if I'm just like, hi.
You just kind
I'm
of follow
in
a
the
little
tour.
bit
Yeah.
behind.
I'm going to look busy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna mess with this. I'm going to do other tasks.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right. So
Going to robot over here.
the tour guide is talking about tour guidey stuff.
I want details.
I do not have
Boring.
it. Talking about vintages and how old some of the wine is, and where some of the wine comes from, and all of the fun statistics that you might have.
Super fun.
You join the tour group. You sidle in. You are now amongst the tour group.
Amongst.
Gyrus is following behind a ways, but is...
Would it be weird to ask if we could have a taste since we're on this tour? Or is that weird?
Are they doing tastings?
Are they doing tastings?
He
Are we
mentions...
doing tastings?
Oh my god.
The first thing was talk!
More sneaky, less speaking!
He immediately counts the group and is like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No!
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, don't draw
Um,
attention.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'll say that he mentions that there is some wine set aside for the group for a tasting at in the gardens,
Okay, well,
in the castle gardens.
you can have one drink.
All right, you follow along the tour group back up the stairs, and he says that next is going to be the library. Brings you to a room that looks like it is.
You
Okay.
would love that. Is that a real library?
I think it's drawn. I think it's
pronunciation
illustrated. I think it's
It
an illustration.
looks like the university, the Trinity College Library in Dublin.
Yeah, I think this is drawn, but I'm sure it's probably inspired by that.
It looks like it.
As we're going through, do I see any books on dealing with grief?
The tour guide reminds the group to stay away from the books, don't touch them. The librarian even addresses the group, saying, don't get your filthy, sticky fingers on any of the books. Some of
Ooh.
them are hundreds of years old, and you will contaminate them. And these aren't for you. These are just for looking, not for touching.
Well, what's the point of having so many books if you can't even read one of them?
Baz
and-
starts to reach out and just slap her. Keeping my hand behind my back.
Reminder that this is a tour, not a,
Sure.
live like the people who live here, sort of,
Yeah, but does Gyrus see any?
Baz
books like
makes
that?
them wearing a monocle.
what are you looking for?
A book on properly dealing with grief to give to Baz so that she stops taking it out on her companions.
Go ahead and
I'm
roll.
in grief!
roll an
I'm
investigation-
aware.
roll an investigation
We're
check.
all aware. That's what this
It's
book
been
is for.
like 4 days!
Yeah.
Get over it already!
I'm not saying get over it. I'm
Oh.
saying there's a healthy way to approach it. That's a 16.
Gyrus!
16. Yes, you find the psychology area, and you find books on how to help someone go through the stages and avoid taking it out on the people around them.
I think about how am I going to get this to her.
Okay.
I let it go.
You
I'm
have
not
it.
going to grab it.
You're not going to take it.
No, because then I'm just carrying a book,
Fair.
right? And I'm just like, I am a robot with
A towel and a book.
a towel and a book on grief.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
I was told to find this book.
This is for tears. This is for healing.
Wow. Y'all
All right,
are rude.
so you find one and don't pick it up, but
Alright.
you know where it is
I will-
located.
yeah.
They do exist,
We'll be
and
back.
you
When
can
we gotta-
find a.
When we're gonna run out of this castle,
Yeah.
stop by the library
Yes.
for a
Um,
fireball.
You wouldn't dare.
All right, continuing the tour.
Not all the books.
They bring you through a historic armory of various historic artifacts and items over over the centuries, and eventually you get to the gardens. At any time, are you looking to try and like sneak away or anything like that, or like what's?
Do
I
we
am
have...
at some point going to sidle up and be like, you can't just follow this tour all the way because they will leave.
Wait,
Are they
I have a,
they're not...
game question.
Like, are they...
And it's a dumb one.
No,
I love it.
I'm sure it's
What is
not.
the sausage theory here?
Yeah.
Sausage situation.
The sausage situation.
Why are we here again?
we need to get to the king or whatever higher up, whoever highest in the hierarchy we can get to tell them about Aerosvint and the Ember.
Oh yeah.
And that it's like
okay.
a dire and immediate
Potentially
situation.
staging a
Oh yeah, right.
Right.
Like they
Right.
could be here
Giant
any
battle.
moment. We
Right.
need to get this as soon as possible.
I feel like I could not remember why. Okay, now we get the be back.
Just bad.
not,
Couple-
to, not
I-
to mention some other things looming in the background.
do
like the
have-
purple worm and the
Right.
kraken.
Also, there, but I don't know. I would presume that the king knows about the purple worm because it destroyed Akhmet Keep. Like I would assume someone saw that
Probably.
before
But I'm
that.
just saying, you
Yeah.
have other information too. Just want to put that.
I have questions. First off,
Yep.
Wait, as
do
Dyrus?
do we? I mean, in game, not out of game. In
Oh,
game, do
oh.
we know? Do any of us know anything about the layout of the castle?
Would any of you have any? I mean, I don't think any of you would have any reason to know anything other than even if you took a tour, it's only the first level of the castle. There are many levels to the castle.
It wouldn't go through the main audience chamber. Wouldn't go through the throne room.
It would absolutely go through those things,
Okay.
but those are the first floor.
Yeah.
And so, maybe you took the tour at some point in your backstory. It feels very
Jairus
non-Endymion.
memorized
Yeah.
every blueprint of every castle in the realm.
Oh right, isn't there a
Jairus has
feat
one of
for
those
that kind of
things.
thing?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Like
Dungeon Delver or whatever.
Or no, like where you keen mind or whatever.
Oh yeah.
where you can
just, like,
remember-
Wait,
remember-
does he have that map thingy?
It maps
It maps where you've been,
Yeah.
So
so
we
you
know
don't
where to
get
get
lost.
back
Yeah.
to like the winery.
That
Um,
was useful.
but
I
good,
was
but
just
good
thinking.
thing.
Yeah, cartography.
It's good for a labyrinth for sure.
Mhm.
Endymion's not really like rogue level of like he would have been studying plans to like case it. He probably would have been like, that's a little bit out of my
Yeah,
league.
that's a big castle.
And he's probably heard of it. It was a little bit, but not
And
like
okay,
so
so we don't.
you
We
could
don't.
take the tour and then get on another tour.
And but we don't know if.
Like,
Unless-
you're
He's
essentially
store hopping.
you take the tour once, case the place, take the tour again to find a spot.
okay,
something like that.
probably
I don't know.
students of the Silver Academy, the Academy of Magic, might have gotten a tour of the facilities.
Okay.
As kind of like a
Listen, if Simone were here.
Mhm.
well, like it kind of
Maybe
would have
the
been like a
Gold
little bit of
Academy.
work outreach. Like, hey, if you do good enough at the academy,
Oh, that's
you could work at the castle
Mhm.
and be one of the
Sure.
Black Cloak's mages.
Okay, so you've taken the tour. You know the
Generally.
general layout of the first level
That-
of the
yeah.
places that the tour would take you. They're not going to show you all of like the servants areas and passageways and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want us to like jump off right at the end because
That would be weird. Yeah.
that'd be weird. But also, we don't want to jump out in the throne room because that's probably even if he's not there, it's going to be guarded.
Right.
And we could have probably talked about this last night. So like,
Also, why would he be in the throne room?
right, but somewhere nearby that, like somewhere where we could get to like back passages or anything else to kind of be more sneaky would probably be my
Okay.
opportunity. Like that could be at the gardens or just past that. I'm not sure where would be the best, but
Okay.
I'll
I mean,
kinda keep that in mind.
Like
We could- yeah.
use your like narrative control here to like think of a place that you would like to go. Like, are you gonna try and sneak into the servants' hallways and try and find a way to get them, or are you going to try and like sneak through the next couple floors to try and find what do you guys want to try and do?
I want to sneak through the next couple floors and figure out where he's at.
Mhm.
Because I got the sneakiest boots around.
In the garden, you look up and you can see, I don't know, 2 floors up is a sort of large scale patio, where you can see one of the princes. By the name of
Prince
Ulverith. Prince Ulverith.
Ulverith.
Prince Ulverith Grint.
Is he also
Looks like this.
handsome?
Handsome, objectively.
Among some other people. Yeah, so just something to
Okay, so
add
that's
some flavor.
we're in the first. That would be the third
Yeah.
floor. So we know we got to go up.
Yeah.
There.
Have we noticed any other Warforged?
No Warforged.
But nobody has seemed to react to me walking around.
You've gotten looks.
Like looks of alarm or looks of like, oh, I noticed.
A couple like just oh, like surprised, and some like confused, and nothing,
doesn't bode well.
but nothing, no one's approached you.
How did they even notice? Nobody notices the help. All right. If we want to try to sneak into this would be the place. I'm assuming the garden. Is it like a garden courtyard?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm assuming there are a number of entrances back into the castle.
Absolutely.
That we could
many.
kind of just find our way to. Like, oh, we go behind this shrubbery here, and boop, and we're in a door.
I would like to survey. I would like to I'd like to sip my wine while I do this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I would like to peruse the garden.
Okay.
Looking for secret passageways.
Okay. The garden has some tall shrubbery, some fountains, like just a long pool. There's lots of seating to be had. Some people sit down. Some people kind of like wander around. You get the word that you can wander this section of the gardens. You may get stopped by a guard to go back to the area if you wander off too far. And you notice around the garden and around all of the entrances there are some guards. Not all the entrances, but
Sure.
they're stationed.
Is there anything?
Mhm.
Maybe I can make an investigation check. Is there like a shrub that looks like a shrub but isn't actually a shrub? It's a door. Like it's a entryway. It's Anastasia type situation.
Shrubby Dory.
Shrubs.
Kind of picture this.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay, I will do that. 11.
Okay. You don't find any perfectly hidden doors that
Just
happen
walking around,
to.
just like sipping wine and like shoving up.
Every shrub.
Just like,
You don't find any trap doors that lead directly to King Stiltoff's bedroom.
Well, that is a bummer.
yeah.
but
And what-
you find some.
What are we supposed to do, Kyle? Then
You find some sewer.
You know what? Fuck this kingdom. All right? This castle's gonna burn.
there's no secret passage. There's no possible way we could get there.
That's not what I said.
You
I just want to touch
That's what
every
I said.
shrub.
so you
What
see
I-
some sewer grates, some like French drain style,
Okay. Okay.
only somewhat larger. What's everybody's passive perception?
9.
15.
Okay. You look up and you see Cairn and Willow up on the 3rd floor.
On the patio?
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it to your friends.
Who's Karen?
Willow's like
her
diplomat
emissary?
friend. Mm-hmm. Karen.
Did we say Karen yesterday? Or...
Karen.
I don't think I gave him a name.
Karen.
You didn't.
I don't think I
That's a good
mentioned
name
the name.
for a Firbolg.
Okay, great. Karen, great. See Karen.
So yeah, you see them up on the 3rd floor patio.
Okay, I nudge these dummies.
Just get that in there.
Yeah. Any chance I get.
Okay. Going to. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna wave.
No, I tell you explicitly not to wave.
Sounds good.
Like Gyrus, they're there. But don't
Great.
draw attention.
Which
to them.
door do you want to go through?
An easy one, I hope.
Presumably one without a guard in front of it.
Yeah.
The sooner we go inside, the sooner we can find stairs, unless you want to try and climb the wall faster than the guards can get
What
to
time
you.
of day is it?
It's early. You guys decided to wait until the morning time to try and get in at appropriate time
What's
to
the
visit.
shadow situation like on the...
Right. It's brightly lit, apart
Yeah.
from the shade of the patios and things like that.
Yeah, really. Which direction does the
I'm just
Sun-
saying,
sun-
if there
Are
is
we
a
in
shadow,
Mhm.
if there is a shadow from the overhang of the patio,
Mhm.
I could feasibly find another shadow on the ground and shadow step up there.
Okay. You survey the facade, and there are casted shadows throughout, like the side of the castle. It's an intricate castle, so you think that maybe you could shadow step your way up.
I suggest it.
I suggest that you take the immovable rod with you.
In case you start falling.
You just click it, and then you can hang
Okay.
until you can do it again.
Because you'll be shadow stepping to underneath it. So you've got the patio, and then underneath it is the shadow. So you'll shadow step here and start falling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so shadow step up there, click
Oh.
it, and you can hang on to there until you can shadow step again or climb or whatever.
Well, that seems more suspicious.
If you are noticed,
It's either that or you're just gonna start free falling from.
No. That feels more suspicious than maybe just going in a door
Mhm.
and going up to the 3rd floor.
Doesn't mean I can. Well,
Well, you can't shadow step, so
I can misty step.
it's
So.
not as good.
But it's only 30 feet.
we could also.
Just set fire to one of the shrubs and make a diversion.
You could. This
That
could.
was-
If we move
Get
quickly
fired-
enough,
fireball.
this
Oh
could.
yeah.
If we move quickly enough, this could be the time for you to use your invisibility.
Mm.
The two of you go invisible, and we simply walk through the door, seeming to be just me. As soon as we find a staircase up, we go up.
Okay. I like that better than me hypothetically falling.
Okay. How high up is the
Third floor.
The first floor is like
Probably
20-foot
20 feet.
ceilings, and then the second floor is probably another 20 feet. So 40 feet to the floor of the patio on the 3rd floor. 40 feet.
Here, Missy, stop telling me no.
I could try throwing you 10 feet in the air.
Why?
So
very strong.
invisibility through the open
That seems
gates.
like
and-
the most logical thing to do. Is to do a little invisibility, walk through like it ain't no thing, and then climb the stairs to the patio instead of having one of us be thrown onto the patio. That
And-
seems
okay, and-
sus.
Yeah,
Especially since
thinking
what
if
will
a
you-
guard sees a shadow monk shadow stepping up the facade,
He's
it's gonna
gonna
look
take
like
me
an
out.
assassination.
Yeah, it's gonna be like immediate lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
like some of us, like you said, want to keep our lives.
So the idea would be create a diversion. You try to shadow step up. We invisible?
No, I
What?
don't need to be
No.
invisible. I have my very.
So I'm just
convincing-
invisible when I follow you.
No,
And me.
The
I
two
will
of
not be
you-
shadow stepping.
Oh, sorry. We're all just running up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you two go invisible, and
Follow
I just
Gyrus.
walk.
And we follow Gyrus because he's a warforged that works here.
Apparently,
Okay.
A guard walks up to you, very casually, and says, "So they commissioned a new one of you. Then looks like.
indeed.
Oh, that's nice. That'll be a nice thing for the maids. Take some work off them."
Indeed.
All right. Anyway, and he walks back to his post.
I'm gonna
For-
keep
for-
staring
he
at
forgot.
him for just a little too long, like to make him uncomfortable.
Okay, he like looks away.
And I will go back to like futzing with I don't know a plant, like
You continue to touch every shrub.
just I'm like making sure like it's sweeping dirt off of the
Here's my plan. I'm gonna tell you. First off, you're gonna hide your towel. I'm gonna start a fire. Make a distraction
What?
with the fire. start a small fire, alert someone to said fire, then give you your sigil back, then we turn invisible, then we go.
Why do we need the distraction? Why don't we just walk through the door?
Okay.
We're invisible.
Because you said there were tall shrubs, right? Couldn't you just kind of like
I can just
walk
right behind
you two
yeah.
could just like walk behind a shrub,
as long as the
turn
guards
invisible.
don't stop you. If the guards stop you, then we're gonna have to go back to starting a small fire.
Well,
Yeah, no one's like actively looking at your specific peoples.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
These
And I'm gonna
bushes
we're gonna go through a door
are
that doesn't
beautiful.
have the yeah.
Okay. You find a larger.
I know you want to set fire to things. I got it.
I had a great plan.
It was so extra.
Step 1.
Sorry.
Behind my back,
Setting a fire.
do a little fireball into a corner.
Do a little
Step
fireball.
Just a
Step
little
2,
one.
question mark.
Step 2, prestidigitate a guard's voice. Is that a fire? Near the group. So the
Oh
group
my god,
goes,
we don't even
"Oh
need
shit,
a
is it?"
distraction.
But that would drop the prestidigitation of his sigil, so then I'd have to redo the sigil,
Oh,
then turn us
that's
invisible,
why that
I
was
was
mad.
and
confused.
then
too.
we would go to the doorway, and you could be like, "I think there's a fire," and then we would walk.
All right. I don't
could-
think.
Wow.
First of all, I don't think prestidigitation requires concentration, so the sigil will be on there for an hour. Secondly, you find a larger shrub. You step behind it. Sir Gyrus kind of meanders his way over
Yeah.
there too.
Well, I'm
you
just-
give the thumbs up. You cast invisibility on the two of you.
Okay.
You are now invisible, and Sir Gyrus watches you blink out of existence and starts walking toward the castle.
Okay.
You find your way into the closest one is sort of just a lounge, where no one's really in, apart from maybe a servant.
Okay. I'm going to keep moving in the direction, like we know where the patio was in relation, right? I'm
Sure.
going to keep moving in sort of like that direction
Understood.
until I find a staircase.
Sure, absolutely. It's easy enough to find a staircase. There's a public one, or you could try and go through a servant's staircase as well.
I think I would do the public one is more likely to have guards. I would think the servants don't have guards, but the servants would also know that there's not a warforged.
And we don't look
Right?
like servants.
You're invisible.
For 1 minute.
Fair.
Sure.
I can cast it one more time.
But
For 2 minutes!
well, I mean, if we're going to find servants' garb, though, we're more likely to find it if we go down the servants.
yeah,
And to be honest, how many of the servants really like working here?
probably.
And also, they probably don't want to die, so if it comes down to it, we could probably convince them to help us rather than... I'm going to pick the servant one.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Power to people.
You think back to your castle, and you know that the most of the halls and stairs on this entrance are really just a go-between between the larger rooms to, we've all seen Downton Abbey, and
We
you
shall
know
have
that the
Your
servants have their like living quarters in sort of the first basement level, almost garden level, but you know what I mean.
Do you want to get close, or do you want to go up?
We can just go up if we have to go up.
All right, let's just go up then.
Okay. You start climbing. I mean, it's significantly quick. I mean, we're talking. Are you going to run or are you going to walk?
No, I'm going to walk. Like,
Okay.
I'm not going to necessarily draw more attention.
Okay. All right. You make your way to the third floor. We'll say, like 35 seconds go by, maybe 40 seconds go by, and you're now on the third floor.
Okay.
You open the door into another lounge. Lots of lounges, but you've got a great view, floor to ceiling, glass windows that
Ooh.
overlook the city.
Nice.
And looking down at the floor area, looking downward from the
Yeah.
from where you are, you can see the garden that you were just at.
Right.
And there's nothing on the other side, so you know which direction to head.
Sounds good. Do we going to the prince? Do we know if the prince has any kind of authority or power?
Certainly.
Okay, or is he just kind of
Like a figurehead?
yeah?
No. The prince. Every noble house has certain tasks for all of their
Sure.
their children.
Okay.
It could be more like diplomatic between cities. It could be specific functions of like military coordination.
Okay. Can
could be
I
things like that.
roll to see if I know
Sure.
this guy?
Absolutely. I'll make the DC pretty low.
That is 14.
Okay. You know that he is a liaison between all of the lords in Esmerin.
Okay.
So he's
He's a diplomat.
yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's the only one we know the location of, so. And Gyrus is gonna try to find the patio.
That was the plan.
The idea is to.
All right.
There, yeah.
You get there, and just before you get to the patio, your invisibility runs out. You are currently in the room next to the patio. There are a few people there who don't notice you, like up here.
I suggest that you find a discreet place to wait. I will attempt to bring the prince
Okay.
and Willow to
And Kieran?
you. I'm sure I don't know that person.
We can like stick around in the shadows of this lounge. Like, why not?
Okay.
Just like hide behind a curtain.
You find a
Well, I'm sure
corner.
it's like kind of moody and dark
Sure,
in
yeah,
there, right? Like,
Well,
or
I
no?
mean, like I said, there's lots of windows, and the sun is high, so it's fairly well lit. But there's
Yeah.
lots of seating. You find a sofa near one of the corners that's available, and you sit down. You walk out onto the patio. Willow notices you and says, "Ah, there you are.
Thank you.
Cairn, this is the Warforged that I told you about. Where's the rest of your party, Sir Gyrus?"
They are waiting in the lounge.
Wonderful. Cairn, would you mind? And like she apologizes for, like, forgive us for leaving, but we have someone to meet. Cairn and Willow and Sir Gyrus come back to the group. So yeah, you are now in the lounge with Cairn, Willow, and the rest of you.
And the revolver.
The candlestick, the rope.
Can I be myself now?
I think so. You can put that towel down.
Well, it was an attempt to appear as a servant rather than myself.
The less we know about it, the better.
That's fair.
You are under. Cairn says, "You are under my responsibility. As long as you're with me, you don't need to have any kind of
Phew.
ulterior."
What a relief, Cairn.
I try to breathe a sigh of relief. I don't breathe. Yeah, this is my
His little trimmer goes.
my trimmer has just been going the
Like
whole time.
vibrating
Just
real hard.
I'm really nervous.
Prestidigitating the sweat off my forehead.
Well, that is a relief.
Tell you what, I am trying to set up a meeting with some important people.
Great.
Do you have any other, the two of you, do you have any other clothes that are more, how do I put it?
Regal.
Sure.
We were planning on stealing some, which now that I say that out loud, sounds bad.
Very well. Would you I could try and find some for you, or would you rather just try and get to this meeting as quickly as possible?
If we have the means.
Seems like we'll be taken like more seriously if we like left the park, you know.
That is fair.
All right. Well, follow me. I don't want anyone to throw you out of the castle without, you know.
Neither do we.
All right. Karen takes you over to sort of a concierge desk, if you will. This is sort of the level of the castle where guests would stay, and if they have questions or they need something, there are servants around, but there is like a specific like master servant, if you will, that is there to help with anything. Karen asks if they could find some clothing that could fit you and would be suitable to meet with higher level people in the kingdom. They say not a problem whatsoever. He goes off to somewhere, comes back with a measurement tape.
Oh boy.
Like does
measure?
like some quick, not like, well, you know what I mean, like the
tailors.
like
Taylor's
it's like takes some quick measurements of you and says that he'll be back as soon as possible. If you want to wait in the lounge, feel free. He could also show you to a guest room if you would prefer. He asks if you're staying for more than...
We look at Karen.
We look at Karen.
Karen Karen says, why don't you set up a room for each of them on the off chance that they are staying? I don't think they have the plan yet right now. I said,
Depends
very
on
good.
How quickly the meeting can occur.
I say, very good. And
how quickly Belma Hirsch gets back.
he shows you over to some guest rooms, one for each of you, all three in a row, and allows you to wait in there, and says that he'll be back with clothing. 2 guest rooms, actually. Sir Gyrus, he doesn't believe would require one.
Okay.
With their knowledge of
Right.
Warforged, they don't get their own room.
Fine.
Kind of thing.
Okay. I also don't need clothes.
You can stay with Endymion or me.
Stay with me.
Okay.
All right. So after about an hour and a half goes by, he returns with some quality clothing for the 2 of you that fit pretty well.
Is it free? Is it
Like-
gauche to ask for money right now?
Well,
like, is it like you don't?
Do you actually ask that?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much do we owe you?
Do we owe you? How much do we owe for
And
this?
he says, no, not at all. Please feel free to keep them.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's very generous.
So
Thank
now you have a set of fine clothing. Go ahead and write that down. Yes. All right. After another hour or so goes by, Karen lets you know that you have a meeting with the following people: Prince Ulverith Grint, who you've
Prince.
been aware of so far.
He's a very nice prince.
Sir Barum Terranthorn, advisor to the king. And that is it for this meeting.
Okay. Better than nothing.
All right. Going back to the lounge to spend some time. You look across the lounge and you see a couple of familiar faces.
Bella Hirsch.
Oh
He's
no.
like, "Hey,
fucking there!
Tackles Gyrus off the ledge.
Get him, boys!
No, he's got a drink now. He's like, you know what? I was just homesick.
Fuck.
This
I don't remember
is lady, you'll remember.
Oh,
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Lasana Elby from Undment, the Copperman. Do I have this pulled up?
And her papa was her dad, or there was an old guy who was in charge of the town that nobody really listened to.
That was the lord of the
I thought I
this.
didn't remember if they
It's
were
not.
related
They're
or
not
not.
related whatsoever. No, he.
He old
And senile, unfortunately.
No!
Henrietta!
This is gonna go well.
I quickly do some calculations on what phase of the moon we're in.
I just. Oh my god! So all I want now is your character image with the numbers.
Oh god, we're so close to the full moon.
Oh.
Henrietta sees you and walks over.
Hey, Henrietta, girl.
Hello.
Hello, homies. Long time no see.
Good day.
Good
It's not
day.
quite afternoon, or I'd say good afternoon.
Oh, you know.
That's a good reason.
Pleasure to see you, Henrietta.
Glad to see that you're doing well. Where's the rest of your party?
This, unfortunately, is it.
We suffered some...
I pitch squeak as you just turn around.
That's squeaks.
No
And
need.
covers.
No need to elaborate. What is your business in Australia?
Just having some drinks and meeting some friends.
I can't imagine that that's the only reason.
We...
Do-gooders as you are.
There is urgent...
I mean, do-gooders also like drinks, Henrietta.
Yeah,
Find, is there a servant somewhere passing out?
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like, have one
Have a couple.
and two.
A waiter comes over and asks if there's anything specific you want.
Yeah, I'll take something stronger than this. I hold up a champagne glass.
A shrimp.
I hold up a shrimp. I am hungrier than this shrimp.
Have you seen the size of these shrimp? They're like a baby's arm. And he says, "Of course, madam. What specifically would you like? Anything is at your disposal."
Okay. I'll have a smoky lavender haze, please.
Very well. And for you, sir,
I'm fine.
sparkling water.
Oh, absolutely.
Fair enough.
A little bit of.
Can I get some more shrimp too?
Certainly. And he motions over, and immediately there's a tray of tons of different food, including shrimp.
Baz is just like, to keep up. You know, I'll talk if I'm not eating.
That's fair.
The appetizers are fantastic. All right, so Henrietta continues. Now that that's taken care of,
Thanks,
what were you saying? What is your business here? And again, thank you for assisting us multiple times, both with the cemetery as well as ferrying us to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It's greatly appreciated.
No
Very
problem.
welcome.
You are under whatever this is worth anymore. The Dye family's thanks. You have our thanks.
We may be cashing that in soon, but we'll get to that later. We have urgent business for the king, or for anybody in charge who will hear it.
Anybody but
Karen
black
mentions
cloaks.
Karen mentions that who you're meeting with. And says, oh, is there any chance I might sit in?
Certainly, I see no
Could
reason
that
not
be
to.
arranged, Karen?
We-
She says, of course.
I may be speaking out of turn, so stop me if I am, but I don't think there are really any secrets between you and us at this point.
There may be one. I hope.
Which one?
Among. How about a secret among us? Not
we may
between
share.
us.
Yes, we may share that secret. Yes, but
Good to be
we are
specific.
aware of that, so I don't think that. I think
should
that,
take another drink.
And Karen is also aware that there is an imminent threat from Erisvind and the Embers.
Oh, that's not really appropriate conversation for this setting.
Well, you asked what our business was.
Fair. Let's wait until this meeting of ours before we start discussing such dire
Fair.
situations.
One quick question going back, which I did want to ask earlier.
Uh-huh.
As we were going through the castle, did
Sneaky
Baz see any green flames on people's heads?
Oh yeah, did I?
You saw a
That's a good
couple
question.
among the tour group.
That's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
Among the tour group.
Yeah. And I had a question for you. Were you planning on covering that on this little mission of yours?
Yeah, I want to, but
Okay.
we never really.
You just mentioned a hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing
Oh, you're wearing a Kentucky Derby hat.
Monk robes and a flowery
And a Kentucky
Just
Derby
like a
whatever.
three-pointed pirate hat.
That's not a Kentucky Derby hat.
You can't
They're
if you wear it to the
different.
Kentucky
We're
Derby.
gonna find a Kentucky Derby hat.
It's
we were
made up.
we were on a smuggler ship.
thing.
We were in wine barrels.
This is
Now
made
You took a pit
up.
stop at a haberdashery and found a hat.
This is made up. No, yeah, I can be
be
wearing whatever. I can be wearing.
Or you
pirate
can
hat.
you can even maybe
Bandana.
potentially like you style your hair in a way that
Yeah,
maybe
it's swooshed. Wait, no. Yeah, it's swooshed.
It's over one eye because you're mourning.
Yeah, I'm in mourning, so I'm like emoing at
Okay.
on one eye.
fair enough. All right, so it's kind of covered.
But like no one in this room, right? None of these very important people are like double agents.
No,
Presumably.
none that you can see.
In any of the servants' members?
We'll say that you did get a glimpse of a servant with an ember.
Okay. Continue.
Was it the shrimp guy?
God damn it.
None in the lounge, but but maybe among.
Right, as we were going through.
Walking through.
Gotcha.
All right,
Or I can have like a headscarf on.
sure. You want to do
Do
the
all
headscarf?
those things.
Yeah, that's
It's a little bit more
monkish.
and reliable than your hair maybe swooshing out of the way.
What about like a
shroud?
Yeah, but without the cape.
Sure.
You know, it's just like a little snug, a snood, if you will.
Sure, absolutely.
What are you laughing at? That's what it's really called. A snood.
I'm just loving the situation. This is really fun for me.
And
I'm
has
picturing as we were going through the castle, you're consistently changing what's on your head. You're just like,
Cutting up a
Fine,
piece of
I was
No,
trying
you're
to be all
drape.
cool and
I said
monkish.
yes. I said yes.
looks great.
Yeah, for these dummies.
All right, so you are wearing something that does cover it.
Yeah, a snood.
Very well.
Doctor's things.
No, it's not.
They're Sneeds, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
All right.
Snood.
So she says, let's keep that kind of conversation to different settings.
Agreed.
One,
Well, that is our main order of business.
I would.
Also,
Can I get some more shrimp cocktail? Shrooms.
she just really wants
You have
to
a
talk.
plate of like 6 of them, and you
Just like, no, 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 no.
eat them
I
quickly.
Just
Eating
stacking the plate.
ner-
She's a monk. She
nervous.
needs a protein.
It's fine. I'm just trying not to spill any more beans. Just
Sir,
like.
Well,
The waiter's
What?
like, we have other things, but here you go.
More shrimp.
what's the
Stacking plates that
chewiest
try
food
to
you
take the
have?
stack plates, but you don't want to give them up.
Some type of bread.
Do you have taffy?
We can find some.
She could use that. Although I don't. This is the one conversation with people that I feel like we don't necessarily need to withhold information,
I've been in trouble so many
which
times.
is wonderfully ironic. Yes.
So happy to talk.
It's fine. Christine, thank you.
Because as we wait for our audience, every moment that passes
It's a dire one.
could result in distraction from our purpose, if you understand. So should we share that? Should we discuss that with Henrietta now? Or
We gotta ask. I mean, how long we think this is gonna get?
How long? I'm just.
yeah,
it's just a quick little question.
How long? Yeah, until our meeting.
How long till our meeting? Because like, I'm running out of shrimp here. You know,
The ocean is running out of shrimp at
the
this point.
ocean is running out of shrimp.
About another hour.
That's an awful lot of shrimp at this rate.
That's a long time for me to be eating shrimp, and I'm worried about it. So is there?
You don't have to eat shrimp. It's not required.
Yeah,
Some of
it's easy
us-
for you to say.
Yeah, easy for you to say. Is there any way we can meet sooner? I'm casual.
There's no way. No.
Well, I guess I'm gonna eat some more shrimps.
So since we're friends, right?
You realize there are other people around.
Yes.
Okay.
But we're, trying to speak
Trying
in
to, like,
hushed
okay.
tones, like
Hushed
not be
about certain
heard.
things.
Okay.
Like in a very
Sort of voce.
Downton Abbey kind of way.
Fair.
You know, I'll maybe get
Holding a cognac.
yeah
Do you have a little
my
sniff?
sparkling water.
Your little snifter?
I'm wary about drinking anything in this castle.
It would be.
Or are you holding it in your mage?
Should I write it down?
Yeah,
No.
probably should.
Then there's written evidence.
Are we going to talk about?
I am open to sharing the situation
this is
with
not-
Henrietta.
We're not like other people are around.
Right, that's why we would do it surreptitiously.
Well, you lead the way. I'm gonna stop.
whisper to Henrietta. I'm gonna speak out loud.
Okay.
I'm gonna sidle up with my drink. Like,
Henrietta Brewer.
we are in a situation. On our way here, we encountered Beldar Hirsch.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not great.
No.
He's
Just another especially large
He's
tree.
he's the worst.
so he tried to kill us.
Why?
That's a great question.
Ooh, that's a long story. We don't have the most time.
Well, we have
an
an
hour.
Again, is this something that could be discussed with the important people that we'll be meeting with?
I mean, yeah.
We're in a little bit of a hurry because
What's going to be accomplished in the next hour?
Beldar Hirsch is on his way here, and he knows we're here
So?
to speak with the king.
Well, he's not going to arrest you,
He has accused us of treason.
and he doesn't know you're here. There's no reason for him to come to this room. Treason.
This room is fair. That's fair. Does he have direct access to the king? Can he just walk in anywhere?
He has a way to communicate to the king when necessary. Certainly.
Ruh-roh.
I'm
As
not
in-
positive that this is something that the king would necessarily deal with. This would be more under the purview of Beldar Hirsch. He would take care of it himself.
That is unfortunate.
I don't think that he would talk to the king about this.
Our concern, well, my concern is more that this meeting that we have has to happen as soon as possible. Time is of the essence with this, with what we are, the information we are bringing. And he seems rather committed to killing us. And really, I'd just like to get through this step of informing the right people of the right things before we have to deal with that.
Well, I have no way of calling this meeting whatsoever.
Right, and that's not what I'm really... Do you have any sort of way to, I don't know, keep the King's Guard at bay? Or tie them up in red tape?
Well, again, not in the next hour, but let's just say, for instance, that Beldar Hirsch breaks through this door,
Fair concern.
yells out that you're under arrest. It would... I'm not sure he would be so bold to do that. Certainly not in a situation where he had you, tried to kill you, failed. And you understand what I'm saying. And even if that were the case, you have a couple rather powerful friends standing in this proximity right now,
That's what, yes.
with Cairn and myself.
Yes.
We could at least simply say, let's hold off and we'll figure this out another time.
That's all I need to hear.
All right.
The more people to know, the better. Because I am very concerned about that door barging. Just explode.
You're just staring at the door the whole time.
Very well.
Well,
Glass shaking
well,
a little bit.
Jairus is at ease now. He's like, cool.
You
I'll get
hear
to say my piece.
you hear the sounding of a couple horns. The doors open up, and King Stiltoff Grint walks through the doors with 4 of his significant Kingsguard. Which
I guess my question for Kyle in this situation, is it customary for... Would it be customary for knights to, like, stand or kneel when the king enters a room or something like that? Because I assume we wouldn't just kind of, like, sit there and watch as the king walks in. Or at least Jairus would. He would do something.
Probably stand. Beat at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If not
I don't think in this world I didn't think that anyone would really yeah, I wouldn't think anyone necessarily stand like kneels. But there's a certain half bow that everyone does and curtsying and things like that.
Yes.
He walks through and that occurs. And he has sort of a welcome gesture and says, "Thank you all for being here. Fills my heart to see the castle full of friends and guests." And people
Yeah.
He said we're friends. I'm his friend.
and he walks out onto the patio.
This is our moment where Jairus's
What
base
does his
programming
forehead look
comes
like?
out.
And no ember symbol.
That would be a
Smart.
twist.
What a twist. Yeah, anyways.
I said last week that Jairus was going to Manchurian candidate this king, so it's time.
You know what? I haven't seen that, so.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that means.
Oh, it's
Isn't it like
it's,
you-
he's a
you take over
sleeper
his-
agent.
Okay.
So the king walks in and he's like, "Okay, time to kill him." I'm just kidding. I'm not going to kill the king. I'm not going to attack the king.
For no reason whatsoever.
Bravo.
Dwarves hate
Railroad.
human kings. I don't know.
Dwarves
It's hard coded.
Yeah, it's like the base function. It's like as soon
if
as it
you ever
triggers,
get in the room with the king, you
He's
kill
gonna
him.
kill the king.
And yet, up to this point,
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
never.
That's what it is.
Up to this point, he's
Railroad.
never been in the room with any other Warforged. I kid.
Maybe only Jairus was out. I'm just kidding.
Jairus was like the ace in the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one.
All right, he sits down with his son out on the patio, and 4 of his these are significant guards. I brought up pictures of them before. I'll show you just one of them and it'll remind
big,
you.
beefy dudes.
Well, certainly adept-looking individuals, like this kind of style.
Yeah.
He's got 4 of them near him. They are pardoning off.
Partitioning.
Sure. The little seating area between King Stiltoff and Prince Stiltoff.
So what you're saying is I wouldn't get to him.
You would not get to him now if you tried.
They would just be like,
They
It's a
would
good
just
thing. Too bad I've got a bomb in me.
campaign.
all the things that the DM did not have any idea of.
Because they were secrets. Anyway.
All right.
Just kidding,
The question here is: are you going to try to approach them, or are you going to let the necessary or the meeting occur and go through the proper channels?
Jairus would go through the proper channels.
Okay.
Do we need to? Should we just ask Henrietta? Hey, can the king come?
We already kind of did.
So, Karen says the people you're meeting with are as high up as I was willing to attain, and you've got the advisor to the king
I feel scolded by Karen.
involved,
This is
as well as the prince who's sitting right there. So you'll be talking to him shortly.
Okay,
This is a once in a lifetime thing.
as
Yes.
another shrimp,
But
another plate of shrimp.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
It's not good. The 7.
Oh
you
no.
have a shellfish out.
You grab a bowl that's lying on one of the
Okay.
tables that's full of like nuts.
Gross.
You dump them out and you vomit chunks of.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Gross.
Can I President
In there.
take that away?
Yeah, can
Immediately before you can even act, a servant is there. Said, "I apologize, madam," and picks it up, and like grabs another bowl, and like another one person comes up and like shuffles it in there. The service here is just
top notch.
incredible.
Maybe ease off the shrimp.
Well, now she's got lots of room for more shrimp.
Yeah, you ease off
Puke
the
and
shit.
rally, right? We
As you grab a plate of bread,
you ease up the
switch to something else.
I'm nervous.
I'll show you.
Hey, you.
It's more shrimp.
I eat angrily.
I'm
or-
nervous. Baz isn't nervous. She's a stress eater. She's nervous.
Okay.
Okay,
I guess
so
we-
you're just gonna
I
wait
guess
till
we
you.
wait.
All right.
I mean, I feel like
a little
trying to
bit of time
approach
goes
the
by.
kid would cause problems rather than fix them.
Potentially.
I'm glad we didn't shadow step up here.
Yo, what's up? Oh
Would have been a
shit!
different situation, that's for sure.
Buddy.
All right, so a little bit of time goes by, and you make your way over to a seating room. This is a council room. Shoot. I have too many things open, and it's like collapsed all of the pictures. Un moment.
Loading.
Here it is. All right, you get shown into this sort of council room.
Nice.
So
Damien, should you do the talking?
Four from a mouthful of blood.
Baz,
Just keep Baz from speaking.
yeah,
we can handle this.
her job. We're
Red is in my mouth.
we are sharing everything with them, so it would be okay if she does discuss things.
Not about the amount that she shares. It's just
The way that she shares it? Is
The-
that what you're saying?
the manic manner in which it
The
happens.
manic manner in which it happens. Gasp.
all right, you are seated. A servant brings in some glasses of water. Asks if there's anything else you would like. Some snacks certainly would work.
Some
Anything else
vegetables at this
you want?
point.
Some,
Crudité.
he brings a whole spread of
Great.
lots of different things.
Just like
Breads,
going
cheeses,
right in front of
vegetables,
Baz.
all kinds of things. Sits next to you.
Thanks. She's a nervous eater, but she has manners. She's gonna take one at a time.
All right.
Sandwich.
So, Prince Ulverith
Exactly.
Grint makes his way in, as well as Sir Barum Terranthorn.
Baz is now nervous because he's just picture book handsome, and so she's like, I don't know what to do.
I gently push some crackers toward you.
It's okay.
She blushes.
I need to pee. I gotta go. Karen stands up and she like motions to for you to sit down, and she says, "Welcome, Prince Grint and Sir Tanthorn. I've called this meeting because the three individuals here, the Warforged included, have certain business to discuss. Rather dire business. I apologize for the hurried approach toward scheduling this meeting, but it is significant information. We have Bastion St. Pierre, Endymion,
Abraxas.
Abraxas, and Sogiris, the Warforged. The table's yours.
It's a very nice table.
We have like a lot to talk about. Is it just me, or do we have a lot to catch up on, you guys?
Damien, that would have been a good time for you to jump in.
I'm just
We
saying.
do, Baz. Yes, we do.
She eats enough.
I like give her some salami.
Well, then get on with it.
No.
We need to talk about the situation with Aerosmith.
Do I know green flames in this room besides me?
None of
It's
it's
hidden.
No.
Okay.
You also get the sense that given the motivations of the Embers, that it's unlikely for them to ever really recruit at this level.
Sure.
You're not really gonna meet anyone that's...
I was mostly worried about double agents.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. They would be trying to, but
He says, so Sir Taranthorn like holds his hand up, says, "Stop there." He like leans over, or he walks over to the entrance of the room, opens it up, and he mentions something to the servant or one of the guards that's standing guard. "We'll go no further at this moment. One moment. Just give us a second." About 5 minutes of awkward silence goes by, and this individual walks in, walks over to, one moment, looks like this.
spells are Herschel. Fucking freak.
Looks like this. And
Fuck!
It's a full elf female. Where is she? There she is. Walks in.
Okay.
She's also wearing a head covering. She walks over to Sir... I got all these names.
Taranthorn.
Sir Taranthorn. He mentions something. She looks at each of you and says, "Could you remove your headscarf, please?"
it would be good to comply.
I remove it hesitantly.
She looks over and like whispers something. Says, and Sir Taranthorn says, "What intimate knowledge do you have?"
A lot of it.
"So you're a turncoat then, are you?"
Seems
Well,
less a turncoat than a curious adventurer
curious adventurer I like better.
who stumbled upon an inconvenient...
Let's just say you're lucky to be here today, because tomorrow all embers within the city are being rounded up.
Oh. Well,
The king's order has not gone through yet, so I will allow you to speak today.
thank you.
And the point of us being here is you'll be lucky to round them up tomorrow.
Yeah, because they're forming an army. I know the things. I've been there. I've seen it. Aerisvent can be inside my head.
Prince Stiltoff, or Prince Grin says, grins, says, we're aware.
You're aware?
Are you aware that
If you could remove your headscarf, please. And she lifts it up, and you see that she's an ember.
She's an ember. Okay, great.
Yeah.
You're us. Same. Are we the same? Do you want to be friends?
that can probably wait, Bass?
She asks if there's anything else, and he says no. And she, well, actually, why don't you stay? You can corroborate whatever information that they may have, if there is any useful information that they have. We're aware that they're moving.
Are you?
And are you aware of the imminent threat of the city?
Not necessarily. It appears you don't know as much as we do.
We might know different things.
Tell us everything. Why don't you start with that?
Well, we first encountered this, encountered each other.
Goes back. We were on a boat.
We were born.
Back to the Three Waves. It brought us together. We truly became aware of the embers and the situation happening in the realm. Then, through curiosity and, well, just traveling, we encountered the embers.
So
Sorry. Oh, you're good.
Some of us were a little curious.
Some of our party were more curious than others, and we came in contact with the Embers. Some took their offer, not knowing
A lot of stuff.
not knowing all the details associated with the
Feels like a real bait and switch, if you know what I mean.
with the deal that
Prince Grint says, "You're not the only one who was persuaded under false pretenses." So
Thank you. I can barely respond.
Yeah.
He's so handsome.
very well.
Thanks.
Go on.
it's been on this road that we truly discovered how dangerous Erisvin is and what he truly plans to do.
Which is
Eat the sun.
He's trying to become a god.
Are you aware of...
He looks over at what's her name? Oh my god, sorry guys.
Elf Lady.
Yes. What is her
Her name is Elf.
Oh, she introduces herself, I suppose, and at this point her name is Arlena Farhana. King Stiltoff's historian and advisor.
Oh,
Cool.
Gyrus needs to get to know her.
Jarvis
You had me on
unlocked
the
a new
story.
feeling.
He loves history.
Who doesn't?
So he looks over at her. You know about this? It's the first I'm hearing of it. What gives you this thought that he's trying to become a god?
I'm sure you're aware of how like a warlock has achieved their magical prowess by being bestowed.
Signing a dark contract.
That's exactly what Erisvin is doing.
He was acting as a patron.
Bestowing magic upon people who
It
are
aligns
foolish
with what he's been doing, giving people powers and such. Go on.
How are your powers here in the city lately?
Why do you ask?
Well, you know the 3 waves, no one could cast upper level spells, so just kind of wondering if that is back, or
Curious that you ask.
is it?
Yes.
Why?
Why do you
Our-
think anything's changed?
Our sorcerer can cast higher level spells.
Can you? How's that possible? Have you always been able to do it, or were you stunted as well after the calamity?
it did not affect our group as it did everyone else in the realm. And it was because of that I believe Erisvin was interested in us.
Yeah, he really preyed on someone like less weaker? Not less weaker, just weaker than him.
As he does.
Seems to be his vibe.
So we had a choice. Try to deal with Erisvin ourselves, being the only ones in the realm with powers that were not stunted by the Crystal of Praetori. Or
Probably heard of that, right?
take matters into our own hands to help the realm. To take him down with us. Or to have the realm help us take him down.
What is it exactly you're getting at?
This doesn't seem to be the point of what the imminent threat that we
Right.
are bringing to your attention, or may not.
Baz shoves another cheese sandwich in her mouth. just to keep him
To get back to the point of Erisvint and his goal, the headquarters, where it is capable of moving. It is a pocket dimension or some such.
We're aware.
And
Okay.
you are aware that it can move, that he can move it at will.
We are.
You're aware that
And you,
Erisvint's ability to act as a patron is back?
That is news to us. We're certain to investigate it.
So we
you,
did have some
you seem
useful stuff.
you seem
Certainly.
unconcerned about a potential invasion.
Well, let's put it this way. I, know who you are.
That's not surprising.
We're like really... Our names are really getting out there lately.
What,
Right.
We are concerned. We're working on a plan. We've locked down the gates. There's a king's order to gather up all the embers that are in the city and stopping them from entering. We have a few, you might call, turncoat perhaps isn't the best word, I apologize. But people who decided to change their allegiances will be posting them at the gates so we can identify each person that comes through to make sure that they're not embers.
Are you aware of Erisvint's ability to control his followers?
No.
You should probably know that.
It's been a deep concern of ours, even bringing Baz here, is Eris could take control of her at any moment.
He has done it before.
They're supposed to kill me. If they
Also
haven't.
concerning, we'll make sure that the king is safe.
And, Arlena.
We were, and yes, we
And she'll be guarded at all times.
we we know this to be true, for we discovered that if not to be casting threats, but if you kill, or if an ember dies and then returns to life, they are no longer under his influence.
Really?
Yes, we know
Some
that firsthand.
alliances.
Okay. Very well, it's useful information, though we can't kill and resurrect every ember.
Oh,
Well,
certainly.
sure.
We don't have the means.
My what is concerning to me with your plan, as thought out as it is that you are placing liabilities at strategic points. By putting an ember at the gate to identify other embers, you are potentially giving Erisvint exactly what he needs.
In what way?
You place someone there
That he can
at the
control.
point, if he controls that person, they could then open the gate.
Well, knowing now that they are susceptible to mind control, we'll be sure that they don't have the ability to do so. They can be behind the gate, identifying people. They'll be guarded, warded off, some way,
That'd be very smart.
and
Indeed.
that's useful information.
But I think it still doesn't solve the issue of Eris being able to transport his pocket dimension directly into the gates.
Well, we understand he can only do it in his physical proximity, so unless he gets through the gates, he wouldn't be able to do so. As far as somehow breaching our perimeter, what would you recommend we do?
That is a good question.
I'm not myself a general or someone capable of
I meant
defending
more-
the kingdom.
I meant
But
more of did you have any recommendations on how we could stop someone from moving?
I don't think we fully understand how he moves. Or
Well, if he's a patron, then, or on his way to ascend to patronship, then I'm sure there's lots of magic that we don't understand about him. We'll be sure to lock down the castle as best as we can. We'll, as we've said, we'll round up his followers and try and bar them from entering. And as far as what we are planning to do, I'm not sure I'm willing to divulge that information to the three of you. Our battle plan, if you will.
That's fair.
Certainly not in the presence of an Ember who can be controlled. Who knows if he can he read your memories and thoughts, or just control you?
That is a question.
I don't know the full extent of it. I don't like think he can get in there.
Well, we can't take the
It's-
chance.
either
I'm happy to step out if
either control
We need
or
to.
a form of scrying.
You've never seen him use anything that would know information that he wouldn't be able to otherwise know.
I haven't.
Very well.
I don't think so.
What other useful information do you have while you have us?
There's a purple worm out there
Hmm.
at Auckland Keep or somewhere.
Yep, that we are aware of as well. It's appeared to our knowledge, yes, what, like a week and a half ago? A week ago?
Belton?
What of
There's
you
a kraken in the ocean. There's a kraken in the sea.
You're sure about that?
We
Seen
saw it.
We've seen it.
It was scary. And it
Encountered,
was a lot. I forgot about it.
encountered their priests.
We have encountered.
Multiple times.
Oh,
we have
yeah, we
encountered
have encountered their priests. You know, they're
harassing
really
coastal
a
settlements.
lot creepier in real life than like you hear in the stories.
Prince Grint says, We've heard rumors of ships disappearing and some strange people announcing, the impending doom, if you will, but we have not yet had any confirmation that a kraken truly did arise. Most people wave it off to being rumor.
Well, we did see it with our own eyes, and it's
Yeah.
pretty freaky.
You mentioned something about Beldar Hirsch?
We mentioned that on the road,
We saw him headed towards Alversea.
we've seen orcs.
Oh, yes. Orcs have
Yes,
many
they've been emboldened since we have not been able to cast our higher level spells.
All the way outside.
They
of
always
Alversea.
push. Good to know that they've reached Alversea. They're going out routes that we don't typically find them on. Then through the mountains. Typically, they press more near Auckland Keep.
Mhm.
Good to know. Again, how does this involve Beldar Hirsch?
We told him that. We told him about the orcs.
And the last element that we've encountered are portals to the Underdark opening, and assuming creatures coming through, like potentially the purple worm.
That was also
I see.
pretty freaky.
We've received some confirmation on those, but they've all been impassable. Have you found that some that are fully open?
No.
No, we did find a person being pulled through.
We found one that was
Half open.
half passable.
Well, that's concerning.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great.
But still of deep concern.
True enough.
There was the, juvenile red dragon.
There was that, yes. When to go back to Sir Thorn, Terran Thorn, you mentioned that you know us, you know who we are.
Yes.
May I inquire as to what extent you mean that?
I've spoken to Henrietta here about you, and briefly, that you helped ferry along the refugees from the revolution that occurred in Alvacy. She spoke highly of you, which is why I agreed to this meeting.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Henrietta. You're the best girl. Well, yeah.
We
That is what I wanted to know. Thank
met
you.
in Alversea, and they did need help. It was not an easy road for anyone.
Good to know that you weren't a part of the bloody revolution that occurred.
No, we left quickly.
You have an alibi, strong one, in Henrietta. All right, any other information?
I think the main point of this meeting was
Warning.
warning of
Warning.
imminent danger.
Yes.
And also help.
When you say you're aware of the threat, are you aware that it is days away or even sooner? Is that timeline what you expect? Because that is what we have been led to believe.
Thanks to Arlena,
Mm-hmm.
she can see, as you can, where the headquarters is.
That is
And we
handy.
can see when it moves. We know that it's gotten closer to Australia. Yes, is the answer to your question. Hence the king's orders. It's going to drop tomorrow morning.
It seems too convenient.
What exactly?
That you can see, or you have people who can tell you exactly where it is and when it moves.
In what way? All members can see the green star, if you will.
True, but up to this point, has Eris Vint has he been careless? Has he been rash or hurried in his decision-making?
You think perhaps it's a ruse?
It seems a significant liability for his plan to have a giant beacon in the sky showing exactly where he is and where his forces are.
True enough. Something to consider.
Although I have no suggestion as to how to safeguard against something else. It just
Unfortunately, as you know, it's rather close to the city gates, so we don't have time to call the banners. We've sent riders out to try and bring in more men. But it is interesting. We believe, Prince Grint says, that he's been emboldened because, and this is not secret information, the Stone of Praetori has been destroyed, and our mages can now cast their high-level spells. And we think that he wants to strike before we can sort of gather our strongest and have a counteroffensive, something like that. We think maybe he's approaching now because of this change. Do you have any information on anything like that?
it does make sense
Seems
strategically.
wise. If I was Eris.
That's my stomach grumbles like in real life.
Can we like,
Go
can we, like
ahead, roll.
take a pause for like a second because I need to like think. Because like at any moment Beldar Hirsch is gonna be like he's gonna like show up and gonna be like, hey, they're the ones who destroyed it. And we kind of want people to trust us, right? Especially these people, right? Like,
all true. Before we adjourn, is there anything else you'd like to say?
What is what's like your god relationship over here in Arstelia?
In what manner?
Like, okay, out of game.
Have you heard the word of Torm?
Have you heard the word of Torm? Is it like, is there one like kind of like mono religion? Like, there's no like mono god. It's like the old gods and the new, and everybody worships whoever they want.
Yeah.
Fuck, that doesn't help me. Okay. I just wanted to know like how spiritual you were here in Arstelia. Yeah.
Or the city.
What of the king?
What of the king?
The king follows the teachings of many of the gods.
It's good to know.
There's plenty of quality knowledge that all of them can give. Is this really what we need to be talking about?
I was just curious.
Some information. Accusations are likely to come to light about certain events concerning our group. And
Can you give me a nod and I'll say it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happened was...
So what happened?
So what happened?
What happened?
So what happened was...
Baz.
Yeah, that's a great... You can take it away.
She's really good at telling these pieces of information. You should just let her do it.
No, I was
practiced.
browbeating the last couple of
some
She has
olives.
practiced divulging lots of information. What happened was...
What?
What happened?
What
What
happened?
happened was we fucked up your plan.
What happened was... There was some things...
Knowing the threat that was Erisvin, and being we have had direct messages from multiple gods, Matur and Torm, that Erisvin is
Evil.
the number one threat here. We know what your plan was to handicap him in his abilities. Unfortunately, that has caused side effects. Purple Worm, the Underdark, Kraken,
The spells.
and their followers.
The spells.
The orcs,
That-
yes. And the spell.
Seriously hindered the ability of anyone but ourselves to try and take down Erisvin.
So like we didn't.
So we decided to destroy the Crystal Laboratory. And we came here to warn you what that means, and that now it is everyone's job to help take down the threats to humanity, and especially Erisvin, who is on his way here to try to destroy the kingdom before you can raise arms.
What had happened?
And as stupid as that seems to say out loud in this company,
Prince Grin says, "It's not stupid. If just a moment."
Some of us lost loved ones.
He pulls his ring out and places it into an opening in the middle, like sconce thing in the table. The what is starry kind of illusion above you starts to fade away, and sort of a yellow glow occurs.
For initiative.
What?
That's my joke for today. Roll for initiative.
What had happened?
What happened?
What had happened was
We don't vote though.
she done already done had houses.
Everyone make a charisma saving throw.
Fuck.
I'm so bad at this, though.
Oh my god, I'm so bad. 7.
Ooh,
I'm.
that's a dirty
I'm dead.
20.
Okay.
27.
Okay.
I'm not
Um,
charming.
You're nervous.
He asks you, under this zone of truth, can you attest that all of what you've said is true to your fullest understanding?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I believe so, yes. Though our gods told us that it was the right thing to do to destroy the stone. Even though it would give the embers more power, it would allow the realm to defend itself.
Okay. Can you say exactly what he just said? Mm-hmm. Aloud.
That the gods that we spoke to, speak to, believe in, told us that that was the best course of action, and that we needed to destroy the stone of Praetori.
And could you also, or at least agree that what they had said is correct and
Yeah.
truthful?
Yeah, it's correct. Like, normally I'm like more of a nature type gal, you know, the key is everywhere and Satanas, it flows between us. But like, all of a sudden these gods were like talking to us and they were like, well, now you have to decide if what's worse, have Eris have his full ass powers and have people that could help you destroy him, or destroy him now with only the fucking 4 of us having, now there's only 3 of us having our powers versus all of his. It was a lot to take in. It was stressful. It was a stressful time.
Very well.
Brisket.
We'll have to think
Shit.
on this.
Wait, what's the thing about? It's helpful.
Well,
Politics.
we have to decide whether or not what you've done amounts to treason against the crown, or if it was an act of true
Good.
good. Yes.
It is. We're good.
We
We're
believe
good people.
We believe you. But
The law is the law.
people can do bad things for good intentions. You understand? You had good intentions, but it doesn't get rid of the fact that you did do certain things. That's
That
all.
was the
All we're saying is
sacrifice.
we'll have to think about it.
We had to take.
All right? All right.
This was what I expected.
Oh, I expected way worse. But
Well, lucky for you, we have a way of making sure you're telling the truth. Very well. You will be escorted back to your chambers now, where you will remain until it's decided what to be done with you.
okay.
All right. He pulls his ring from the sconce, and it goes back to starry illusion. He puts it back on.
We'll just become a prince.
So, now is where we will be leaving you, and we'll be speaking to you soon, as you've given us quite a lot to think about, and we need to make some decisions quickly. So, if you would please return to your rooms, and as I've mentioned, Sir Tarnthorn walks up and asks to bring several of the true King's Guard, which is the guys that I showed you, one for each of you, and you're escorted back to your chambers. Henrietta and Karen ask that Sir Gyrus gets his own room.
Oh.
They're like confused, but like only for a second. Like, oh, of course, absolutely, no questions asked. So you have your own room now.
Hey, we didn't describe that you
Yeah,
are
great.
actually conscious and not
Great.
just a normal warforged.
But yeah, they know who I am.
All right, so you're now sort of like under house arrest, but still kind of under protection from essentially the king, if you will, to remain where you are.
Perfect.
So that is where we will leave this session.
That was so stressful.
You did very good not divulging information.
I wanted to say it the whole time.
Even though it's the one, but it's finally a time where it's like, it seems like it would be the best time to be truthful.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. But then you guys were being cagey, and I was like,
Yeah. First rule of PR is get ahead of the story, right? So
That's what I was.
oh yeah, good point.
And
Speaking.
make your points first, and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, we did the bad things for those things.
Yeah.
So
give
you
your
can be mad.
motivations, and it's not just one side of the story of like, you guys are terrorists. All right.
So good news, bad news. We blew up all your shit. The good news is we did it for good reasons.
Yeah. All right. So we'll pick up here hopefully next week.
Yes.
And good job, guys. You infiltrated the castle. Got good.
It
You
was
did.
very good.
It was a good plan. You found your way through it. You used certain resources that were important, and you did a great job. I thought it all made sense.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll see you next week, and
See ya.
hopefully a less stressful
Yeah,
encounters.
Jesus.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.